And how the saying goes, new year, same us. Welcome back for another brand new episode of the Beyond Expectation podcast with your two most favorite co-hosts in the entire world, Eduardo and my boy Brett, aka the White Rhino. I
White
know it's
Rhino, baby.
it seems like it's been a while. And of course, I want to say again, I posted up on the story, follow us on IG, Beyond Expectation Podcast. Well, hopefully everybody have fantastic Christmas and New Year's. Of course, it's definitely one of those it's the most wonderful time of the year, like they say, or the song says,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So but we're back at it here again.
Yes.
And it's still the same people. As you can see, our mugs hasn't changed. I probably got fatter from all the food that I ate. Brett still looks good as always, but I think I gained a couple pounds, but that's normal. Usually during the wintertime or cold season, that's what happens to me. So that's the only difference you probably see in my facial here, my face. But
Oh man, you look great though. You look
oh,
like
thanks,
something
man.
I would cuddle up next to, you know?
Keep you warm
Yeah, keep me warm when
through
it's
these cold
cold.
nights.
It's a cold world out there, baby girl.
Oh, dude, it is. No, definitely. But dude, it's been a minute. But first, before we get into this, I always ask you, how are you doing today, man?
You know me, man. I keep everything you know, good. I keep everything tight and locked in and locked down, you know?
That's
And
good.
you,
That's
my
good.
man.
Doing good, man. Doing good. Can't complain. We're already in January 2023, and I always say this every other episode. It just feels like time in the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
It goes by super fucking quick, and it's insane. It's insane for me to like kind of kick back and kind of like realize another year gone by, another
Yeah.
chapter in the book, but here we are, and it's just time keeps going by quick. Moral of the story: time is just going by super damn quick, and it's crazy because I get older. We're all getting older, but it's like we're living life. I guess at the end of the day, that's just a part of going forward and just progressing, right? So yeah,
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, the audience, I'm sure they understand it. They can see it
for
like I
sure, for
see
sure.
it. But you aged like a fine wine, my man. You know?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But dude, I don't know if you can
No
see it.
cap. No
No
cap.
cap. As you can see, I don't know if the camera can pick it up. I don't know if you can see it, but dude, I have a lot of gray hairs coming in here on my chin and my beard, dude, and I'm taking it all like I'm just basking in it. I just hope I hope my beard is like fucking just pure gray when I get older, dude. You know what I'm saying? And I
It
want
will
it,
be.
I want it all the way down to like my chest, dude.
Yeah.
And I want to
Dude,
ponytail
that would be hot.
it.
Mine, I had to shave my beard. We did some family photos,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
which
yeah.
was, I wanted, I mean, there was just side of me that just really wanted to keep that beard for the family photos, but my wife was not letting that happen. And, and she keeps me on a short leash. So, hey, it's either her or nothing. So
Right.
I just listen to the wife. Anyway, I've got a whole bunch of grays starting right in here. They're all right in there on the sides. So I don't know if that's
Yeah.
like a Wolverine thing or what.
Oh,
But
dude, I know.
of course, the hamburger meat. Every time I'm in the shower, I'm just looking and I could just see the grays. Like the whole chest is starting to get white. So,
It's like
holla
they
at me.
say it's kind of like a badge of honor in a sense, right? Because it's like it
Yeah,
just shows how much we're just aging, right? That's just it is. Like we're aging, but hopefully we're aging like they
your
say.
basic gray hair. They tell you, oh, it's this is your wisdom hair, whatever.
Yeah, exactly what I heard.
True
Yep.
be it, right? But the reality of it is that you're losing testosterone.
You're
You're
dying
becoming
slowly.
less of a man. The older you get, you're becoming less of a man. You're
Oh,
becoming less
fuck,
of
dude.
a what's that Tate guy that just got arrested? You're
Oh,
becoming less
Andrew
of a
Tate.
top G. You're becoming a bottom
Oh,
G,
yeah,
you know?
dude. Not the
And
top G, you're
so
the bottom G.
yeah, you're the bottom G now. You're sinking,
Yeah.
You're becoming the anchor of life, and you're losing your masculinity, your manly, your manhood, your everything that made you a man. You're losing it
Oh, fuck.
by becoming old and antiquated and irrelevant. You're not a top G anymore. You're a bottom G.
To put it in
That's
perspective,
what.
it's like holding sand and it's just like oozing down out of your fingers and it's just slowly creeping out. You're the sand and we're just
Just
creeping through the
gone.
fingers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah. Basically, you're dying on the vine.
live? Do you by chance
What?
have a New Year's resolution? Like do you do any of that? Like I know it's kind of
I
a
don't play that
common
game.
thing. You don't play that game?
I mean every January, the best that the world is going to get a resolution out of me is that every January I do a fast from the 1st to the 21st
Mm,
that is just fruits, vegetables, water, like natural, anything that has grown from the earth. No animal products, no animals, for 21 days. And it's called the Daniel fast. But anyway, and so that's basically what it is. It's just this diet of 21 days where you just whatever the earth provides is what I can have. So tonight for dinner, my dinner was an avocado, and I just
nice.
split it in half and ate it right out of the thing. And breakfast is usually a banana, oranges, grapes, but and then my beverage is water, nothing but
Course.
water.
Of course, good man. No, dude, I know that you do it every year, and by all means, man, you kill it. And dude, I see that you shed a ton of weight off. I'm like, fuck, man, that's a crazy how you stick to it. Like for 21 days, right? I probably couldn't even make it fucking 3 days, bro. I'd be like, no, I'm good. I'm done. I'd
It's
fucking have to eat
hard.
something. It's hard.
At
It is fucking
first, it's
hard. Are you
hard, but
kidding? Yeah.
eventually you grow to get used to it. Like
Mhm.
now, like this time, I was cooking potatoes and I was roasting them in my air fryer, and so I was just like, you know what, this really isn't that bad after like 7 years of doing it. It's actually pretty cool, and so my goal, not a resolution, but my goal is always to like take this kind of stuff and then stretch it out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I bet you feel like fucking even more, like more actually full of energy. Just you feel more alive, I guess you could say. Right? You've told me before you feel way better. Like you feel more fucking
it's
like cleansed. And I can
yep,
damn, I agree, dude. That's like, damn, you're not really putting all this stuff, whatever they're putting in our foods and beverages, whatever.
preservatives.
Exactly, dude. So it's
Uh,
you could tell it's a difference, you know?
yeah, yeah, and it is. I mean, it always feels good. It's just it sucks because you get sucked back in. Oh, Brett, why do you go back to the food if it makes you feel so good? Why do you go back?
Yeah.
It's because of the convenience, right? Like when you're hungry, and sometimes, like, man, you've had orange, you've had apple, you've had banana, whatever. Sometimes you just want that substance, you want that sandwich, right? And so what'll kill me every time is a Reuben sandwich. You get me
Ooh.
on a Reuben, and the Irish in me is just screaming, and I'm just like, I want it, and then one Reuben leads to a beer leads to now I'm on meth and I'm hooked on heroin back again,
Maybe a
and
little
now I'm in
coke.
Seattle and I'm homeless, and and we're taking up church property because the church offered free lunches, and me and my homeboys, we took over the church property, and we're like, now you get out. Now next thing you know, I'm getting my Amazon packages at the church. So now the parishioners are like, man, we're at the church chilling, and I'm knocking on the door like, hey, did my package come in? And they're like, yeah, are you Brett? And I'm like, yeah, I'm Brett. That's a true story, by the way. That really is happening in Seattle right now.
Dude, it's a circle of life. Now he's back at square one. So where
Yeah.
he's in the beginning stages, So hopefully
Uh,
hopefully it stays like this, right? But
double
yeah,
up.
man. No, that's good. Yeah, the same with me. Like I don't really do too much of those. I mean, before I would, I'm not gonna lie, but I think just every year I tell myself I try to do better this year than I did before. Pushing forward, not backwards. So I just leave it simple like that.
Do you
So
think the reason why we don't do resolutions anymore is just because we failed so many times and we're just like,
possibly
no, we
or
don't play
that.
that game anymore?
We're
Yeah.
done. We try to 2 or 3 times and we're good now. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's what I see
I
it.
ain't losing that 20 pounds. I'm not getting that beach body. It's just not happening.
Then
I'm
if
gonna
I
have
do
the
lose,
dad bod.
if I do lose, it's just gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a yo-yo. Yeah.
Oh, yo, yo. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, bro. But yeah, man, I mean, Christmas was good, New Year's was good, and here we
Wait.
are again. It's the saga continues. But and of
Yep.
course, as always, like we said, we hopefully everybody that has tuned into the podcast that they had an amazing Christmas and New Year's as well. But
Yes.
here we are. Where wildness roams. We talk about the most randomest topics that happened throughout the week, the past previous weeks, whatever you want to, however you want to say it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
today
Mm-hmm.
on deck we have three interesting topics. I mean, that's just what it is. Like we over here, we can go here, left, right, down, up. We're everywhere. So the first thing on the agenda today, and we can just call this the "What the fuck" (WTF) segment of the podcast. The first topic on the agenda is okay, Brett. So we've talked about AI and robots, right? Well,
Yeah.
what if I told you that, let's say you get a parking ticket here in the lovely city of Seattle, right? Well, you
Yeah.
want to defend yourself in court, and you're probably like, well, I'm gonna get a public defender or whatever, to help me with my case, whatever, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
But what is your thought if you ever had an artificial intelligent robot to help you with your case?
Hmm. An
An
artificial a robot. A
AI robot.
robot. So like a robot telling me that it's basically going to be my lawyer. Is
Definitely.
that the same robot that I order my food from McDonald's from now?
I mean, dude, I couldn't put it past it. What if it did take your order at McDonald's too? I mean, what if it does it all? I mean,
Right.
eventually that's the key goal for these things, right? Like
And
Elon Musk said it himself. Didn't he say that? He wants it to where
yes.
he wants to do all these things that us humans don't like doing or what we do so it can, prevent us from harming ourselves, this, and that. All the good selling points, right? I've seen iRobot with Will Smith. So before he got slapped or before he slapped Chris
Is
Rock.
that the same robot that's giving me that's running the red light camera?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. I mean, these
Are
things
you
do it
my
all.
enemy and my friend? Are you my
Yeah.
frenemy?
Right. How
What?
does that say go? If the enemy, if the enemy of the enemy of my enemy is my friend, then it's my
Right.
friend, right?
Right.
So like that. I don't know. I
So
fucking pictured that.
it's a weird theory, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because these robots were supposed to replace the mundane jobs,
Mhm.
not not your attorney. The guy that's supposed to get you off the hook.
Oh, dude,
That wasn't supposed to come until later. It was
dude.
supposed to replace your taxi driver.
I
It
think
was
we're
supposed to replace your McDonald's.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's getting pretty advanced at this point in regards to what they're really trying to implement them to. But of course, with that being said, I'm gonna fill you in on what I mean by these robots helping you with anybody that's they're starting it off with
Let's
these
hear it. Let's
so-called
hear
parking
it.
tickets, right? But we're gonna dive in this little article and let's discuss and let's dissect here together. So as I was saying, robot lawyer powered by AI will help fight speeding ticket as it takes first case in court. The world's first robot will take a case in court next month with the artificial intelligence legal assistant helping a defendant fight a traffic ticket. The AI
Hmm.
billed as the world's first robot lawyer by the startup that created it, Do Not Pay, will run on a smartphone and listen to court arguments in real time before telling the defendant what to say via headphones. The unprecedented hearing is slated to take place sometime next month, but the makers of the robot lawyer are not disclosing the location of the court or the name of the defendant. Science and Technology publication New Scientist reported that the ticket at the center of the trailblazing case was issued for a speeding, and the defendant will only say in court what the AI instructs them to say. Should they lose the case, Do Not Pay has agreed to cover any fines, according to the company's founder and CEO, Joshua Browder. Browder, a Stanford University educated computer scientist, launched a Do Not Pay in 2015 as a chat bot that provides legal advice to consumers dealing with late fees or fines, but the company pivoted to AI in 2020. Browder said it took a long time to train Do Not Pay AI assistant on case law covering a wide array of topics and to ensure the app sticks to the truth. We're trying to minimize our legal liability, Browder told the outlet, and it's not good if it actually twists facts and is too manipulative. The AI app
Wow.
software was adjusted so it does not automatically react to everything it hears in court. Instead, it will listen on the arguments and analyze them before instructing the defendant how to respond. Browder explained that his ultimate goal is to have his app replace some lawyers altogether in order to save defendants money.
Wow. So what city is this taken?
I believe it's in New York. I believe. Don't quote me. And I will post a link to this in our description in our video on YouTube if people want to check this out and just dig in a little bit deeper. And of course, we'll try to post this in our audio description as well. So if you want to check out these articles to the topics that we're talking about right now, so you guys can read it. But I think it's in New York. Don't call
Okay.
me on that though.
So, but that's interesting though, because Router, the CEO of this
Yes.
company,
Yes.
he's saying that his goal is to save money.
Yes.
That's what he says his goal is. But I see other things. I see other benefits that could take place from an AI robot.
How
And
so? How so, brother? Tell me, talk to me.
well, okay, so we have a problem in this country um, about preconceived notions, some maybe some stereotypes, some beliefs, some things, racial tension,
Hmm.
right? A lot of people of color, a lot of people that are black, Hispanic, maybe possibly other races, Native American, Asian, um, go into court and they feel like when they go into these courts there's a lot of white judges, a lot of white attorneys, and so you filling the prisons with black and Hispanic, right? And so what if you could face these types of things, like these attorneys, these AI attorneys, they literally don't see color.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean?
As of now.
And so you're literally just putting the facts
Mhm.
out there. If so theoretically you would get the most fair hearing that you're ever going to get. However, what is going to happen if nothing changes? What if the prisons, like the decisions are still going in the same direction, right?
Mhm.
What if predominantly blacks and Hispanics are still getting, decisions against them?
Yeah.
What then? Does that make AI racist? That I would, so I think that will be. I don't think we can answer that right now, right? We're on our premier case, but what if that happens? Then what?
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's again, we've talked about artificial intelligence before here on this podcast. And to think that they're really trying to implement this in everything, whether it's, I mean, as of now, obviously they're using it for they have, like, I think it's in Dubai, or it's like the robot that has multiple different passports or citizenships in Dubai and somewhere else, to where it's learning and it's able to communicate with human beings and all this. And of course, they use artificial intelligence regarding to, like, the algorithms and stuff that they use, like YouTube uses, Google uses, all that stuff. I mean, it's in use as we speak. Now we're taking it up a
Mm-hmm.
notch. They're putting this live in a courtroom trying to decipher a case. I'm very curious to see how it reacts to where it listens to the case and it communicates to the person that's trying to be defended to maybe get away
Right.
from getting paid that, so avoid them having to pay that ticket or whatever. Now, when you elevate that and push it up, maybe it's going to be a defendant in a murder case. That's where things really get kind of, I guess, juicy, because now we're going to really find out how it's going to be able to listen or hear both parts of both stories and come to a conclusion.
And
I'm really gonna try to pay attention to this, because this is super. I mean, if people don't think about this, a fucking
yeah,
robot is
yeah.
gonna make these type of decisions, whether a person's gonna lose their life and spend 30 plus years in jail or prison, whatever, or someone's gonna walk away scot free, and depending on whatever evidence they could put in. So
And can
crazy.
AI can they so say your AI attorney knows that you did kill, like the even your AI attorney knows that you killed the person, right?
Yeah,
And so can they, and how would they react? Would they ethically decide continue to defend you,
true.
or
Yep,
how does that work?
I know.
And and then and it's funny though, because I love how coast to coast, right? You've got on New York, they're at least like starting with traffic tickets, like, hey, we're just starting with traffic tickets to introduce these robots, whereas like San Francisco was just like, no, our robots are going to lethally kill people.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it's like kill a Cali, literally.
Oh,
And
literally.
then New York was like, well, we'll tone it down. We'll just start in the courtroom, see
I
how this
know.
goes before we give our robots cats. But but San Francisco was like, nah, son,
No, we're
we're
fucking
turning the
cranking
heat
that bitch
all the
up,
way up
dude.
to all the way up to broil.
That's
We're giving our robots gats, dude. That's crazy.
Oh,
Like we
I
don't know how
totally
these
forgot about that.
algorithms. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I don't forget these things.
Dude,
Not me.
yeah, it's crazy. What my boy here is referencing in San Francisco, they're actually going to let loose these killer robots that look like dogs walking
Yeah.
around, and
The,
they will use excessive force if needed, according to the article that we read. And that's actually a good topic we'll bring up in our next episode because it is a very good one. That's the opposite. That's the less, or that's the more darker side in regards to using these artificial. I don't know if they're backed by artificial intelligence. I'm assuming. I mean, it would make sense, right? Because they got
yep.
to make the most, like they got to make a decision whether or not to use excessive force. But
Right.
yeah, they're letting these things roam around and they will use, you know, whatever they have on them, which I'm assuming is a gun, to bust off and, probably cap somebody. So
Oh, they'll
that's
peel your
crazy.
cap back.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. If you thought a human could, this will probably do it much more
You've seen
precise.
you've seen those JFK videos. You, my friend, will be JFK if you think you're gonna start set tripping with these robots
In San
these
Fran,
dog
right?
robots with badges, Paw Patrol.
That is insane though. I definitely that would slip my mind. But yes, it's different. It's really interesting that New York has a different take to slowly implement this, to see like maybe start with the lower case, which being
Oh,
a parking ticket, right? I mean, it's just a parking
right.
ticket, right? So it's like one of the less, more, I guess, it's much of a less, I guess you could say, serious case, right?
Right. It's
So
like, yeah, they like New York went from, you know, red light red light cameras to, okay, you know what, that's been making us a lot of money.
yeah.
Now let's just go to the courtroom. Whereas like Cali, San Francisco was like going from the red light cameras directly to, okay, this is really working. We probably need to kill some suspects. Let's arm these robots with guns.
Fuck, man. Yeah, so far I haven't heard anything of
Population
it,
control.
but tinfoil hat time. Right. No, it's yes. But on the next episode, we'll definitely touch base on that. San Francisco killer robots. We'll definitely gonna be touching that. But yes, this one, of course, AI has been implemented robots, and soon will probably be your public defender if you ever need it. So they're gonna make it accessible to where you'll be able to listen what they gotta say to you. They'll tell you what to say in order for you to get out of that parking violation or parking ticket.
I think
And boom,
that's
there you go. So
I think it's. I mean, I am excited about this one. I'm not
okay.
excited about the Cali one. I am excited about just the fact, like I was saying, like if you can get an attorney that doesn't see color, doesn't see any of the craziness, right? The stereotypes, whatever, all of that stuff, and it just literally looks at the facts and nothing but the facts. Boom. Here we
Even playing
go.
field, right? I think it's like more like an even playing field at that point, right?
Repeat after me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I know. And it's gonna totally freak me out when in movies like they'll be using actual robots being like the what is it, your lawyer and all that shit. I'll be like, oh man,
Dude,
we are definitely living in a movie now.
imagine AI knowing us so like in and out so thoroughly that now AI starts writing movie scripts and tells the actors what to say.
Hey man, you can't put it out of the realm of possibility at this point, my friend. As fast as technology is advancing, I won't put it past it. But hey, people, there you go. Just you're here
Yeah.
on the Beyond Expedition podcast. So
Wow.
that's one for you to kind of take in and think about for now. But as we continue, so Brett, what if I told you that they combined human DNA with monkey DNA? Why? Because they're our closest, I guess you could say, relatives in regards to the, there's that theory. I guess we could say it's a theory, right? That we evolved from monkeys or apes, however you want to put it, right? There's that
Right.
theory, right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say. So this one kind of goes hand in hand with that. And it goes
Okay.
like this. Title of this beauty piece is called Human Monkey Hybrid Embryo, created by joint China and US scientist team.
Fantastic.
A team of scientists from the US, China, and elsewhere have developed embryos that are a mix of human and monkey cells for the first time in history. The embryos, which were detailed on Thursday in a scientific journal, Cell, were created for scientists to uncover new ways to produce organs for people who need transplants. The researchers injected 25 stem cells from humans, known as induced pluripotent stem cells, or ISP cells for short, into embryos into embryos from monkeys. The scientists then grew the mixed embryos in test tubes for up to 20 days in order to study how the animal and human cells communicate to one another. The idea behind the research is to determine whether or not monkeys could eventually be able to grow human organs for transplants. According to the team of scientists, thousands of people die every year waiting for such transplants. In recent years, some scientists have been experimenting with injecting human stem cells into sheep and pig embryos to see if they could become capable of growing human organs. However, the research has so far been unsuccessful, according to NPR. According to NPR. Now, the team of scientists chose to experiment with monkeys because they are much more closely related to humans genetically. The researchers reported that after one day, they were able to detect human cells growing in 132 of the injected embryos. However, most of the embryos died during the 20-day experiment, and those that survived only retained 4 to 7% human cells, according to the South China Morning Post. Nonetheless, the scientists found that the research represented significant progress for this type of study.
Gross.
Gross.
Yeah. If we have these long lines of people waiting for all these organs.
Yeah, a lot. Like it's a lot of people. I know I've read countless stories of like the one actually that happened over the holiday where, of course, during the weather where we had like the ice storm and all that, and this like earlier of like or was it like December, right? They had like a
Right.
bunch of like flights canceled and all that. There was actually a gentleman that was on an airplane that actually got his flight delayed and he lost his chance to get a heart in Seattle, your
Oh
hospital. So
man.
now I don't know what happened after that, but it's like that's an example. People are legitimately waiting so they could hear that if someone had passed, so they to see if they're an organ donor, so they could get whatever it is that they need from that person or that body. But yes, it is a problem,
Wow.
adding to what you're saying. So it's crazy. I think it's now we're really it's interesting enough to see like, damn, would a monkey be able to grow actual like compatible human heart, or even maybe a lungs in general. I don't know. Like it's like in the realm of possibility that, hey, fuck it,
So
let's just inject some stem cells to these couple monkeys, and they're going to be just like what is it, hosts for all these human what is it, organs, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, and so help me out here though, and maybe I didn't understand this article completely. So are- is the monkey growing human organs, and then we're
Yes,
just harvesting them from a live monkey?
from what it sounds, yes.
That sounds disgusting and
Yeah.
sounds completely unethical. And where is PETA? You know what I mean?
Right here, this is your target, your main target, right?
Right. And and then I a couple things I want to interject here with is okay, so the US and China are working on another experiment. What, Wuhan wasn't enough? You know? Wuhan wasn't enough, right? Now they have
He's
to go
fired up.
take it a couple steps further. And
Oh
and
shit.
and then the other thing um is that oh shoot, I lost it. I thought I wrote it down. I did not. Um yeah, but either way, I mean, it just seems like it's just crazy. Oh yeah, the other thing is with on China, were the Uyghurs not enough? Was that camp? But you did not harvest enough um organs from the Uyghur camp, because we know, well, we don't know for sure. It's not
Mhm.
like CNN hasn't reported it, because we all know that CNN is the end all be all. When they report it, it's totally real, right? Um, but they choose not to report it, but all the rumors that were flying about the Uyghur Muslims that China had, they were harvesting their organs. There's like all these crazy horror stories.
Yeah, I
So
heard them. I heard about that. Yeah, that's insane. That is insane. Even like they were talking about how like some prisoners too, they were killing them for their organs and shit like that. Like,
right. Like some of them were literally just prisoners just so they could get their organs. And they're
that's
like, "Oh, okay,
crazy.
well, here you can go now."
And yeah, and it's I think it has a lot of tie into the black market where all these like inner organs are ending up at. It's a lot of money. I mean, it is like when they were calculating, I was actually listening to this in a podcast, and they were just talking about how it's such a huge money maker for them that that's why they're doing it legitimately to get all this money. And it's like I can see, okay, I can see it from both ends, right? It's
Both ends. I
inhumane.
want to hear it.
It's inhumane for sure. I get it. Like it is like you're really just using this monkey to grow organs, and then you're gonna put it out of its misery, and that's done for. I think that's just pretty fucking straight up brutality to me, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the same with what they were doing with pigs as well. They're talking about how they were doing it to pigs, and we've heard a little story
Yep.
about that too,
Yep.
where they try to use a pig's heart for this one surgery that this gentleman needed a heart, and I guess he passed away because the heart wasn't working or it wasn't compatible with his with when it went inside of him. So that was a fail. But then again, it's like it, it just it's like, yeah, if somebody actually really needed it, that was an individual that was really living a good life and wanted something to prolong his life even further, like what do you do with that? So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm like in the middle of it, but I think I'm more leaning towards where it's kind of a horrible way to go about it, like using monkeys to grow all this, a heart or whatever, and then just pretty much killing it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. I think that's just straight up,
Well,
just use once, use them and lose it. That's it.
right. And it seems like a better practice. I know it's going to be harder for a lot of people,
Yeah.
but why don't we focus more on healthier practices that could preserve your
Yeah.
organs that are
Yeah.
failing?
True.
Like
True.
maybe schools all over the world have this, hey, we're going to do PE and we're going to do education that show you what the impacts of sugary drinks and foods
Carbs, all
and
that.
all that. Yeah, we're going to show you what a crappy diet really does to your body. And so that, and also you have to work with the governments because obviously, they say that lower income families are the ones that buy a majority of your sugary beverages. They buy some of the unhealthier meals like your McDonald's and whatnot.
Mm.
And so you have to help that out too. But we're so focused on like the getting those organs and I'm not against stem cell research. I'm not against all that, but I am against like unethical and inhumane treatment of animals. Like you're literally turning these monkeys that have they have feelings just like us. They want to do their thing, and you're turning them literally into organ uh, donors, and
Yeah, literally.
they're
That's all they're gonna
just
be.
there to harvest. And
Hmm.
no, I'm not with that, and I don't think that we as mankind should be with that. And instead focus on what is it that's hurting our organs. Why can't we just practice better, healthier lifestyles worldwide?
True. Yeah, get to the actual core problem of it. Like you said, healthier eating, healthier well-being. And of course, I don't know if you heard this. I don't know, and I heard this before. I don't know how I guess correct it may be, but they're saying that even like the pyramid table of all the foods of like what you should eat is like BS. Like it's not even a healthy fucking way of how they made that.
No,
So I was like, what the fuck,
that
really? And I
much
remember back in
carb.
school. Yeah, I remember back in school, it was like they would say that. And I remember like, here's the food table, here's what you should eat,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't
and,
know any
and and
better.
they couldn't figure out why 30 years later everybody was becoming diabetic. you know, like you literally turned us into
They,
diabetics.
oops. They're like, fuck,
Yeah.
that's
Maybe
insane.
okay. Let's make some adjustments here. Let's bring those vegetables. Let's put the vegetables. Let's stretch that one out a little bit. Let's put the breads up a little bit higher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That looks better. Yeah, I know. It's
30
it's
plus years
crazy.
later, right? Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that's
Well, they're gonna do
insane.
the same thing with this crazy uh uh oh, I can't say it. I'm trying to beat the censors. I'm trying to
Oh, dude. I
but the
know.
thing that we all get censored about talking about, this
Yeah.
current thing in our bodies that was forced upon a lot of us. Yeah. we're we're gonna hear a lot about that in the next few years.
So stay tuned. We'll definitely keep you posted
Yeah.
on that for
I'm
sure.
trying to because we had things episodes taken down because of
I know it's
craziness,
crazy. Yeah.
crazy talk.
Two so
And,
far
and
that
we're
we know
not
of.
wrong.
Two so far that I know of for sure, and what my buddy's talking about is, we've definitely had some episodes not being able to be shown due to reasons. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
We're trying to make sure, we're dodging bullets here, or dodging
Right.
punches, you could say. So we're trying to be very careful, of course, and again, in the future, we're definitely going to
we
be
we are
possibly.
causing more harm to the world than these people trying to grow human organs out of monkeys.
I know two dudes living in their mom basements, where we're doing all the harm we can.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I know, right?
Oh
Fuck, it's
man.
crazy. But yes, monkeys being used to
Wow.
grow
That is
organs for people that need them. That's
insane.
insane,
Insane.
right? I know. So people, yeah, they're working all this stuff behind closed doors. Just another little
Oh, PETA's gonna get paid off. Believe you me, government or whoever, the Chinese, they're gonna come in and just give them a fat paycheck, and they're just gonna turn their eyes and look the other way. That's what's
Hey,
gonna happen.
I don't doubt it.
That's what always happens.
Money talks, my friend. Money talks,
Yo,
right? So
give
I
me my
wouldn't doubt it.
Bitcoin.
Okay, so actually, this next one has to do something with your background, Brett. And of course, tell us a
I
little bit about
know,
your background. Where are you at now? I mean, I know you like to change your scenery in
bro,
regards to your background, more cooler than mine, but
bro.
where are you at today?
I got a huge city behind me on the moon.
Oh, dude, you're on the fucking moon.
I'm on
Woo!
the moon. I'm going lunar on that. Yeah, on that A.
So you need
As my English partners would say, on that arse.
no.
I'm going lunar on that
So you
arse.
and Elon Musk are like this right now, right?
Well, yeah, he's taking things a little bit further, but yeah, I
So
mean,
I'll
I'm
stay
just,
right here. I'm gonna stay right here,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Like,
well, I'm gonna break it to you, Brett. There's something that's happening in regards to the moon, and I have questions about this too at the end of this article. But let's go
okay,
on with the title. Title of this is
okay,
called "NASA Chief Warns China Could Claim Territory on the Moon If It Wins New Space Race." NASA's top administrator says the U.S. is in a new space race with China and warned that the Chinese could result in the country claiming to own vast swaths of the moon. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, a former astronaut and Florida senator, warned that it is entirely possible that China would cordon off the most resource rich areas of the lunar surface if they establish a presence there first. Politico reported Sunday. It is a fact. We're in a space race, he told the outlet. And it is true that we better watch out that they don't get to the place on the moon under the guise of the scientific research. And it's not beyond the realm of possibility that they say, keep out, we're here. This is our territory. Nelson went on to point to China's aggression in the South China Sea, where the Chinese government has routinely made claims of sovereignty over areas belonging to other countries. China's bargaining space program succeeded in establishing a new space station earlier this year. Meanwhile, NASA has been working on its Artemis series of missions to the moon. Artemis 1 launched in November for a 26-day mission, taking pictures of the lunar surface, and the Artemis 2 and 3 missions are in progress toward more established activity on the moon. NASA has also focused on Mars. However, sending multiple robotic rovers to the planet to gather data on the planet's soil, atmosphere, and potential landing zones for a manned mission. Artemis 1 returned to Earth and splashed into the Pacific Ocean in December. Chinese investment in space flight and other rocket technology comes amid an ongoing arms race with the US and Russia, as all three countries are currently developing hypersonic weapons.
wow.
So
So,
my,
so
my
the
first question
mission.
so my
Yeah, go
first
ahead.
question to you, brother. Didn't we land on the fucking moon? So technically, isn't it ours? Isn't it ours to claim? The fucking flag should be up there, right? According to what we saw in those videos. I remember. So what
Yeah,
race? We run the fucking race.
but I
US of
think
A.
China's flexing, and they're just like, did you really?
Did you
Did you really?
really?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So I
And
mean,
Russia, I think they're in on it too. They're just like, did you really? Because there's a lot of people, even in your own country, that don't believe you landed.
yeah.
Maybe even some of the astronauts that supposedly landed, maybe they don't even believe they landed there. So, you know, did we? I don't know. I every time I look up, at that cream sphere in the sky, I've never seen an American flag planted.
Right.
I haven't seen it. So where is it? Did we land there? I don't know. I
That's
don't know.
crazy.
So
It's always been a
supposedly,
question of mine, man.
if we did, then you know, all we did was plant a flag. Does planting a flag mean ownership? Does one country get to own the moon that everybody needs? That everybody on this country that inhabits this country needs? That controls our tides, our low and our high tides. I don't know. I mean, but apparently they are going to claim ownership. It, that's what the Space Force is there for, baby. You know?
True, true, valid,
So
valid.
it's but I want to know, they say that they're afraid of China getting the resource rich real estate up there. I want to know what resources they're talking about.
Exactly. That's
What
the other thing too. That like kind of made me like kind of wait, what? Like what is it that they need from the moon that
right.
is such a valuable? Hey, all I'm saying, what did we talk about before? We had a Barbara Lazar episode. He was talking about all these elements that they found that they couldn't even uh figure out what
Right.
they were. Hey,
Right.
I'm just saying. I mean, it could be from the fucking moon for all we
Yep.
know. They're talking
Maybe
about
you got
this,
to
you know.
Yeah, maybe you got to travel a little bit,
We gotta go to the fucking moon, dude. I gotta go. I
Yeah.
gotta go to where you're at right now. I mean, you tell me. You see, you got a fucking city behind you, man.
Bro, I
So
got away. I got away. You get a green screen and I can put you on the moon with me. But I need you to get a green screen first.
okay, definitely, definitely. I think I got it in my story somewhere. I'll have to yank it out, and
We could do
I'll
this
definitely look at
together.
it. Oh, dude, I
Yeah.
know. But yes, it's I don't know. That's another question too. Now that I'm gonna be kind of thinking about this when we wrap up this episode, that like, what is it from there that aside from what it does as a role as a planet to have Earth be what it is now, like what other thing this rich what was it
Mineral rich,
mineral
yeah.
whatever, what do they need it for? They did say hypersonic weapons, of course, hypersonic weapons.
Right.
So
Is that the minerals we're looking for? Is that you want, you being USA, China, and Russia, want the rest of us to just kick back while you go and harvest all these minerals off of the moon just so you can fire more weapons and test them in the oceans. We talk about like, like, oh, there were a billion crabs that
oh
died, that we
yeah,
covered on our thing. And
yeah.
then we ask, oh, why? And then but we never ask, when they're dropping these bombs on, testing their weapons, we never ask, how many crabs do you think a weapon like that could kill?
A
But we never
lot.
put the two together, right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever asks that. It's just like, hey, look at all these tests that we're doing in our ocean. And then the follow-up question is never, I wonder how many crabs died.
Yeah.
I
Or
wonder how many
fish.
whales
I
died. I
know.
wonder how much of our food is now ruined forever. And I wonder why there's such a food crisis. We never ask those questions. We put literally testing weapons on our own food, on our own, I'm sorry, but the fish, we eat the fish in the ocean. That is our food. We're killing ourselves, or we're letting these dominant countries kill us, and then we don't ever stop them. So what? They're going to go up to the moon and harvest those resources for more weapons, and then they're going to test them before they actually use them to kill more of our food. This is crazy, man. Like, why don't we just give love a chance?
Say the last thing we can say is just love. Like fuck it. Let's just use that. See where it goes at this point, right? We got nothing to
Why-
lose.
yeah. Let's stop being racist for a day. Let's stop being prejudiced. Let's love each other for who we are. Let's meet each other where we are. And just give peace a chance.
Oh
Like,
fuck, dude.
put the guns down, put the knives down, put the nukes down, and let's just like sit down at the table and talk and just love each other.
Is a love thy neighbor. We should use that quote more often. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that's what I'm saying, man.
I know, man. It's you're right though. Like there's always these things that kind of interlink to, we have to ask specific questions regarding this. For me, it's like, so is this why we have the Space Force? To know that we're the next big war? I think, and I think we've I don't know if we both agreed on this, but I said the next big war, if there is gonna be a World War III, it's going to be intergalactic for what? The moon.
Oh,
I
you
don't know.
think? Oh, I don't know about that. I think that uh, this whole year we've been on the cusp of World War III with the Ruskies going into the world's breadbasket of Ukraine,
Yeah.
and we've been just on edge, and then all we've been looking at China just frothing at the mouth, looking at Taiwan like, ooh, is what is the American diplomacy um, plan with Taiwan? Are they going to come to Taiwan's defense, or are they going to let us take over Taiwan and this one China thing? So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the next World War III is going to be intergalactic or still terrestrial. I don't know.
If not 3, 4, or 5, I'll say that. Maybe 6. I don't know. I mean, but we'll
Definitely,
see.
we are definitely going to get an intergalactic war, which is going to be awesome because if we're still alive, I'm going to play the hell out of Beastie Boys. Intergalactic, intergalactic. Yeah,
We'll be
dude,
in
it'll be
space,
me and my
dude.
spaceship just jamming to that stream.
Oh, dude. I hope we do a fucking episode of space. I think that was the goal. Like, we do a fucking episode on the fucking moon, or like as we're hovering
Bro,
over Earth. Oh yeah,
right,
definitely. Like,
right,
see that
right,
beautiful piece of planet down there. That's fucking
right.
Earth right there. You know.
Yeah, yo, I used to smoke doobies on that planet.
You see
Yeah,
this
dude.
beer? Used to drive under the influence down in that planet over
Yeah, I used to, yeah, I used to drink lean and
there.
drive to Taco Bell on that planet.
Oh fuck, I know, man. Whether that, hopefully, man. I mean, if we're fortunate enough, that will definitely be on the bucket list of things to do. Definitely do an
Yeah,
episode above Earth like that, man. But I mean,
I
hopefully, there's
want
no
to
war that breaks out, though. You know what I'm saying?
I want to, something that took place on Earth. A comment that I got from a listener of the podcast told me
Okay.
that you have an amazing voice. They said they I don't know if they wanted me to tell you that, but they like made that comment. They said, "Hey, I was listening to your podcast and oh my gosh, I can't believe how good of a voice your Eddie has on the podcast. Like his voice is incredible. I
The
would have
hell?
never known." Yeah, so I got that comment and I wanted to pass that on to you.
What? Really? Are you trolling me right now? Or
Yeah,
no,
so you're hey. So when things don't work out on the podcast, which obviously they look like they are, maybe get on some phone, some phone sex
right?
money,
Those
side hustle.
after line hours, whatever they call those.
Dude, I had a friend that was a phone sex operator back in the
Holy
day. Like for real, she was telling me about like like the thing like yeah, it was awesome.
I remember those days. I remember this one actually. Now they brought that up. Not that one specifically. Not fucking sex fucking phone operators, whatever. But there was
Yeah.
this one I remember. Dude, this was fucking like this was fucking a long time ago. It was like a chat room, like a number you would call, but it was like a chat room, like an actual chat room you would call, and there would be a bunch of people talking at the same time. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this? It's like I'd rather just go in a chat room and like online. We were talking about MSN Messenger, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather go into like a chat room like that, but like to hear like a bunch of people talk all at the same time, like what is the point of this? I just fucking hung out, like
Oh,
boom, hung
that
up.
is weird.
Yeah,
Huh.
I don't know why that was even a fucking thing, but it reminded me
Huh.
of that. So that's why I wanted to say that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
right
whoever
on.
said that, thank you. I appreciate it, but I mean, I just I just let it flow. I just let it come out as it comes out, man. And I drink
Yeah.
water too to keep my voice from
You
getting
are
raspy.
smooth though. You are smooth on the vocals. Like man, that's like velvet.
No.
Like yeah,
Oh
you're
shit.
like the audible the audio version of velvet.
Oh man, dude. Well,
You're velvet to my ears.
it's one of the nice compliments I've gotten in the beginning of 2023, so I'll take it. I'll take whatever comes my way. And yeah, I mean, like I say, I mean, hey, just keep tuning into the podcast. You'll get more of it throughout the year. But yeah, it's mm, thank you. I don't know what to say.
There it is. There it
There it
is.
is. But yes, my friend, back to what we were talking about though.
Uh-huh.
Space, the race towards who owns the moon or a certain area of the moon for these
Wow.
rich elements or whatever it is that they're looking for these new hypersonic weapons that we're using for. And yeah, I mean, shit.
Yep.
It's things are getting very interesting here and this little planet we call Earth itself in general with all this stuff that's going on. And of course, it's always tough to really like put in a bunch of stuff that we really want to talk about because we kind of try to handpick what's really best and interesting to talk about and discuss here on the podcast with all you lovely folks because of the time, of course. But you know, every episode we try to make it interesting, and also we are going to have a very special guest on our next episode as well. Don't want to spoil too much, but we got a guest coming in on our episode here in the next one after this one.
Locked
So
in.
be on the lookout for that. And of course, I can't express this enough. You know, it's another new year, 2023. And thank you for all the new listeners and viewers that we gained. Of course, we can't be appreciative enough to say, you know, thanks for listening or taking the time to
Yeah.
listen to our episodes or taking the time to watch our videos on YouTube. It means a lot, of course. And we definitely want to continue growing this little podcast we got going on here. But one thing I do want to remind people, of course, and we look at our analytics and we realize that there's a bunch of people that listen to our podcast through the Apple Podcast app. If you could do us a solid, it won't take too much of your time. Just give us a good rating on there. Let us know how you feel about the podcast. What was your favorite episode so far? Ed, you gotten fat. You need to lose a couple pounds. Whatever you want to say. Go ahead and drop your fucking comment on there, and we'll maybe read it on a future episode, and shout you
Yeah,
out to
there you
make things more
go.
interesting.
There you
So definitely
go.
do that. Look us up. Beyond Expedition Podcast on Apple Podcasts, but we're really everywhere. And also to make it very easy for yourself, go to the Beyond Expectation Podcast on Instagram, where you will find everything in regards to the podcast itself, but also a
Mm.
direct link to where we're available on all major streaming platforms and our YouTube page in our bio. Direct link, click it, and it'll take you there. Easy as 1, 2, 3, ABC. But of course,
Yeah.
before we exit, brother, I always gotta ask you, you got anything else you want to drop on the table or roll the dice?
Well, I just want to build on what you're saying, like right now, we've been doing this podcast for years and but we're like the podcast world's best kept secret. And before the word gets out, be one of those people that interacts on our secret hideout at Instagram, Beyond Expectation Podcast. That's our secret hideout, folks.
Yeah,
So get
definitely.
in there before the secret gets out. I mean, we're like the speakeasy of podcasts.
Yeah, there we go.
And but we definitely want to have that conversation. So and yes, like my man said, we are much appreciative of all the love and support we've had over the years. We've interacted with so many people, and the fact that 2023 ring in, and we get to keep doing this, and my homie, my main man over here, his mic, he ain't letting the mic get dusty. I'm not letting the mic get dusty. We just keep everything going, and we just keep it moving. And so
Exactly.
we are able to do this because of you. You all make this happen. So cool stuff. So keep it
Definitely.
coming, and we will keep it coming. And eventually this thing's gonna pop. This thing's gonna pop. We're gonna hit the lottery, and then all of a sudden, this thing gonna be a speakeasy anymore. We're gonna be the club. We are
Yeah,
gonna be everything.
definitely. Well, you'll definitely see us in the metaverse. I'll tell you that. We've also talked about how if you can't be here physically, hey, like we do it every other week, virtually, man. I mean, shit, that'll be dope to
Virtually.
see a bunch of people that want to join in and join on the live conversation. So definitely with that. So a bunch of cool stuff and ideas we got in the chamber, of course. But of course, we're gonna take it one day at a time, slowly but
Mm-hmm.
surely. We'll get there. But of
Yeah.
course, we're gonna wrap this one up. We'll catch you in the next one when this releases on a Friday. Have an awesome Friday, awesome weekend overall. Stay safe out there. We love you. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.